Hey guys, Paul from Ashen. It is new comic book day for the week of July 14th, and we're going to get started right now. This episode brought to you by shirts, because shirts.
Hey guys, Tim from Capes and Scowls, Team Ashen, comic book store, all the places, you know that. Time to talk about trades, right? We've got True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys National Anthem. This thing is massive. Massive. It's the entire miniseries, just the one, which is wild because it's huge. Maybe could kill a man with it. You'd have to want it. If you don't want it, find a better book, is what I'm saying. But yeah, there's a chance. I'm telling you, there's a chance. Suicide Squad, their greatest shots. Because, of course, that movie's coming out. To me, it is just a random bunch of comics. And then we have Future State, Suicide Squad. We reviewed issue 1 of this. It was pretty good. I would be interested to read the rest of it and see where it went. King of Black, Planet of the Symbiotes. We didn't like this one, did we? I don't remember.
I don't know if we did.
Somebody told me it was terrible. I don't know. I don't take stock in what other people say. You shouldn't either. The more you know.
They kind of do put stock in us, so what?
We're not other people.
Okay.
Marvelverse, and we're definitely not. We're barely people. Marvelverse, She-Hulk. This is also kind of a random assortment of She-Hulk, but I kind of like this assortment a little better. Kind of more variety, because she kind of goes all over the place. Sometimes she's funny, sometimes she just beats the piss out of people. History of the Marvel Universe. This is collected all together. This was, Wade. This is pretty cool, right? Did you read this? I think you read everything. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah. I don't think I did, though.
Whatever. Injustice, Gods Among Us, Year Zero. Zero? Wow, Year Zero. I love that this is still chugging along and shows up every now and again. I think Injustice was awesome from the beginning. The Ultimates by Al Ewing, the complete collection. This was a cool series. It has that great art. Man. And who thought to put Galactus on a team? Like, that's wild. Al Ewing's wild. We got Deceased Unkillables. This has been out in hardcover. Now it's out in trade paperback format. We have Mighty Marvel Masterworks. Fantastic Four. This is the first 10 issues of FF, much like the Spider-Man one from a few weeks ago. It's got the first Doom in it, so it's already worth it. We have Taskmaster, just in time for Black Widow. This is that mini-series that just ended that I read a bunch of issues of, and I really enjoyed the series. And finally, Raptor by Dave McKean. I don't know anything about this, but I looked through it, and it's awesome. And I've always enjoyed McKean, so this is a weird thing. You should want it. They should want the weird thing, but don't take stock in anything I say.
First up, we have Sinister Wars, issue number 1. You really have to read a lot of what's been going on with Spider-Man to really kind of get this. I've been behind a lot because when you miss 1 or 2 issues, it stacks up because of the bi-weekly stuff. The best thing that can explain this is Kindred is still trying to deal with everything. A lot of the subplots and everything that have been going on for the last 30 to 40 issues are now back. The Sinister Six has been reformed, but there's a Sinister Six, there's a Savage Six, there are all these other teams that Kindred has kind of brought together under different reasons to attack Spider-Man at once. So it's pretty much every Spider villain that you can think of coming at him all together. And in addition, some of this is, I believe, having to do with One More Day. This is even bringing a lot of that into play because Mephisto is in on this also. Again, I'm sure it does make sense to people that are completely caught up on the series. Unfortunately, if you don't, you're going to be lost in some of the plot lines. It's decent. I mean, the artwork is good. It's Bagley art and Nick Spencer writing, so the writing is solid and everything like that once you can kind of tie everything together. But it'll lose some people. Grab it if you want.
All right, first up for me, we have Silver Coin, issue 4. I read the other ones, I might as well read this. This is written by Jeff Lemire with the Michael Walsh art. Really enjoy this anthology series. This one is just as good as the others. This is the future one. It's got a apocalyptic, almost Akira vibe, which of course they reinforce by a cool little motorcycle scene. But the coin comes at an interesting place. And I do like the kind of commentary that's here where the police are using drones and people just feel like they got the worst of society on this one. And it seems like if you're even middle class, you're probably at the bottom of the totem pole here. Pretty cool story. I love where it goes. I love this vision of the future, even though it's bleak and everything. There's just enough. They don't show you like a ton, but they give you just enough so it feels different. And I enjoyed it. So I'm still loving this series. I'm still telling you to read it. So Silver Coin is still pretty awesome.
Next up, we have Beyond the Breach, issue number 1. This is a very weird story. Basically, a girl is having one of her I need to get out of here moments after a very bad breakup, and she's going to the California forest to kind of get away, go camping. Suddenly falls asleep, and when she wakes up, everyone is being attacked by monsters, and she has to get out. That's literally what this story is. Like, there's really not much else. We don't know how or why anything is happening. We just know that she is being attacked and has befriended some child who is just really irritating, and yeah, things happen. Bad things happen. The art is interesting. The writing is good, but like, again, it's so sudden and so jarring that you're just as confused and weirded out by everything going, which is by design. It really does go and show you how disorienting the story can be for everybody in there. So I really like that kind of aspect, because you do have that, you were sharing the same feelings as the main characters. Be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, grab it if you want.
All right, next up for me, we have the Sumerian, the Man-Eaters of Zambula. This is a new issue 1 in the Sumerian, which is Conan, adapted from old Robert E. Howard works. This is from Ablaze. I really enjoyed this as well. Different kind of Conan feeling. Since Conan is Marvel now, you don't get some of the seedier things that were in Conan. Not just nudity, but some of the violence and some of the other stuff. It's toned down a little. This, all the way up. Nudity, violence, all of it. When it happens, it's going to be a lot. And this is Conan being told not to stay at a particular tavern overnight because he's a stranger in the town, even though a lot of people know of him. Strangers tend to disappear. And as you may have guessed by the title, there's some man-eaters they're around, and they are awesome. This has a much deeper plot than I expected, and I really had a good time. I thought this was pretty sweet. So if you have a sword and sorcery kind of fix that you need, this is a good way to do it. And just check it out. Read something different. Read a different barbarian story.
What is my pick of the week? It is Man-Eaters Cursed, issue number 1. I haven't read any of Man-Eaters, but this is picking up 3 years after those things. You are once again dealing with Maud. She's 15 now, and her parents send her away to camp because they want to go on vacation. That's what happens. Kids, if you're going to camp, it's because your parents just don't want you right now for about a week. And that's kind of what's happening here. And I love the lighthearted feel to it. This is a very interesting story that eventually does have some very creepy undertones. But the writing is so fun, despite what's going to eventually happen. The artwork is beautiful, and I can't wait for more of this. Basically, they're going to a sleepaway camp, and then it's this weird camp that, like, the parents have never set foot on the island, ever. Like, ever. They can just kind of send them off over an estuary into this weird island, and the kids kind of fend for themselves unless you've been here for a very long time, in which case you have luxury apartments and weird things. But they all wake up, and there's only 2 of them left, and that's what they have to do. You have to find out what is going on with this island, and I would read more. So this is I think a 5-issue mini or a 6-issue mini, but it's a mini series, and now I want to read the rest of it. So, and actually now I want to kind of go back and read the rest of Man-Eaters. So, yeah, you don't really need to read the original series to get this. All you have to understand is that this main character is the same main character from the first book, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need to have an enjoyable story. And I like that. So grab it.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week. Paul, do you know what it is? Yes, you do.
Oh, I figured, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you jerk. It's the 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, issue 2. I love Starks. I'm totally in his pocket. We all know that. But this just got so much better, and I definitely have a new favorite character in Tad, who essentially is the voice of like a Knight Rider-style car, and you get a little bit more backstory on him. You get the reading of Trigger's will, which had me in stitches. I was audibly, Paul will tell you, I was just audibly laughing out loud at so much stuff in this book.
Which he doesn't do.
I don't do ever, because I have no soul and what is humor? But this was really good. Even after the actual issue is over, there's like a Reddit joke kind of thing that is in here, and I was dying. Kyle, you did it again. You're great. This is a good story. I'm really digging it. It's all these little 80s kind of cliche things rolled up into one, and it's just fun, man. And the car. So definitely check this out. If you were like on the fence about issue 1, I think it got 10 times funnier come issue 2. I cannot wait for the next one. I like where it's going. And I haven't, sometimes you read books and you figure it out right away. I haven't figured this out, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So that's good. Everybody, check out Trigger Keaton and tell Kyle Starks you love him. Well, here we are at the end of the video. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I'm glad you had a good time. I had a good time talking to you. Not all of you, but most of you. Some of you are just deplorable, and I would really rather not, but that's not how the internet works, so I'm talking to all of you. But you're a good egg, so thank you. That was a funny one, Paul. All right, everybody, that is it. We are out of here until next week. I appreciate everybody who commented on the comments of the last video. It's nice to see that you can like ask people to interact, and sometimes they do. That's fun. Thanks to everybody who did that. Anybody who has questions. Do you guys have questions? How about questions? Do you want to take questions from them this week?
Sure.
Who's got a question for either me or Paul? We'll do our best to answer it. I either do it right away because I can't sleep, or I do it way later. So I just want you to know that I'm not super reliable in any real way or fashion. Paul's better at it. So that's it. Ask us questions if you like. We'll give you lies as answers. At least I will.
Why would you give them the truth?
Depends on what they're asking.
I mean, I'm assuming they're not going to give us any like deep delving questions.
You never know. You never know what people want to know. We'll lie to you.
I will try to tell the truth.
You're not even paying attention. Paul's the worst. Bye.